maioria dos empregos que hoje temos, daqui por 10 anos já não existem. Mas a escola continua a reproduzir um modelo escolar e social que prepara os jovens para empregos em vias de extinção. Está a preparar os jovens para o passado. E fala-se na escola do futuro. Não. Hoje existe uma tendência para passar a aula para a aula online. E já há universidades que compram robôs e despedem professores. Ou seja, estamos a chegar a um momento em que corremos o risco de sermos conduzidos pela inteligência artificial e por alguém que conduz a inteligência artificial. A manipulação. Então teremos de perceber que a aprendizagem tem que ser dialógica e em comunidade, uns com os outros. Porque nós teremos de ser sujeitos de autorreconhecimento e reconhecimento do outro. A minha liberdade não termina onde começa a liberdade do outro. A minha liberdade começa onde começa a liberdade do outro. E eu sou individualmente responsável pelos atos do meu coletivo. O que acontece hoje, infelizmente, é que se acumulam nos arquivos da universidade montanhas de artigos, de dissertações e teses sobre a educação do futuro. Mas estamos sempre à espera do futuro que nunca mais chega. Eu tenho um convite para vos fazer e deixar o meu e-mail depois no final. É que não poderemos estar a continuar a importação de modas pedagógicas como ensinos híbridos, que é o blended learning, ou aula invertida. Isso não serve de nada. E são paliativos do velho modelo. Nós teremos de contribuir para a criação de uma nova construção social de aprendizagem. E o convite que vos faço é um convite a tomarem uma decisão política. De uma vez por todas, assumir um compromisso com a educação. Mais uma vez vos agradeço. O meu e-mail que vai ficar aqui neste vídeo é jpacheco.1951@gmail.com. Fiquei bem, protegei-vos da Covid-19 e ficarei ao vosso serviço. Bem-ajo.
E para encerrar esse encontro, eu vou ler o trecho de uma outra carta também do professor Pacheco. Vamos lá. Brasil, 27 de novembro de 1976. Há quem creia que o bullying foi inventado neste século, mas ele era cruel realidade já em meados do século XX. Muitas escolas eram espaços de desumanização. O Rui sofria de leucemia. A quimioterapia fizera desaparecer todo o seu cabelo. Usava um boné para disfarçar a calvície. Brincando no pátio da escola, o boné voou, caiu no chão. Logo sentiu o escárnio de colegas. Careca feio, careca feio! Tanto bastou para não querer voltar àquela escola. Meses a fio, as sessões de tratamento tinham operado um enorme desgaste emocional. E a partir desse dia, nem sequer saía do seu quarto. Chorava, dizia querer morrer. A mãe do Rui buscou ajuda na nossa escola e foi ajudada. Diariamente, uma professora passou a visitar o Rui no seu quarto, conversando, devolvendo-lhe a vontade de viver e de aprender. Até o dia em que ele quis conhecer de perto a nossa escola e conviver com seus colegas. Até então, apenas deles ouvira falar a professora. Chegou, rosto triste, fechado. Estudou no seu grupo de projeto, brincou, correu e o boné voou, caiu no chão. Apressou-se para apanhar o protetor adereço, olhando em redor, receoso da reação de seus colegas, de brincadeira. Não enfrentou o novo coro de careca feio, e a brincadeira continuou. No dia seguinte, quando chegou à escola, viu que todos os seus amigos tinham rapado o cabelo. Estavam tão carecas como ele. A leucemia é uma doença cruel. O Rui passou por um transplante de medula que foi rejeitado. Foi definhando, amenizando as dores com a alegria do saber, cuidar de seus companheiros. Faleceu rodeado do carinho que lhe votavam seus colegas e professores. Passou a viver na memória de quem lhe quis bem, porque um ser humano não morre quando o coração para. Morremos subitamente quando deixamos de amar. Morremos lentamente quando deixamos de ser amados. É isso, gente. Eu espero que vocês tenham gostado. Quero agradecer especialmente a esse pessoal que organizou essa Masterclass. A gente está muito feliz pelo convite. Eu vou deixar aqui os contatos da EcoHabitare, o meu e os contatos do professor Pacheco, caso vocês queiram entrar em contato com a gente e conhecer um pouquinho mais sobre os nossos projetos. Um abraço e até a próxima!
So that was definitely quite moving and quite a sentimental way that the whole series of the whole session was presented, I must say. I do hear a lot of chatter on the chat box where you have also connected to various points of the story and a lot of perspectives that were brought out. So citing the unique format we are following for today's session, I would like to propose a different take for today's Q&A. Based on my observations of the Q&A so far, I have understood that the participants here are global educators themselves and have always been very keen with their inputs and insights. Hence, I would like to present today as an opportunity to engage with each other and use our diverse experiences to shape the face of Indian education. I open the first statement to our views. What are the key areas where social construction impacts in schools and how? I request all our participants to bring about their views because I know that all of us have been walking a lot of different lives, each having a unique experience in the education sector itself. So drawing from today's session about social construction, I would like to ask what are the ways in which you feel that social construction and social constructivism has impacted the education system? Yes, I can put the question on the chat box as well. Just give me a moment. So I could repeat the question again. What are the key areas where social construction impacts schools and how have you identified these? So drawing from my experience, I have seen that definitely gender was one of the constructs growing up that I have seen in the curriculum, especially in the literature subjects, that is English and Hindi, has come out to be quite, it was quite obvious the way it was displayed that, that it is quite different, that some gender are more capable of doing certain things and some are more capable of doing something else. So I would like to invite all of you as an expert for the Q&A right now. What do you feel are the observations that you have had with respect to social construction and its impact in Indian education?
Can I come in, Namrata?
Yes. So what are the key areas where social construction has impacted the schools and how?
Basically, if you see the kind of, philosophy a school follows is normally driven by the society it is located in. Every school has a unique location and that location impacts whether it is the demographic situation or the kind of, orientation towards the job or careers the child will be taking, the faculty which develops in the school. I think that all constructivism happens through society. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Actually, I think I quite relate to that aspect. I myself have changed 10 schools across the country, and I have noticed that the way schooling happens, even let's say the timing, it's quite different based on the whole lifestyle that the demographics of that area follow. So, for example, currently I'm in Mumbai, and I see a lot of schools follow the state schools follow format where they have classes, early on, and they end up till like 4 o'clock, 4:30. Of course, lunch and all is taken care of by the school. But then the schools that I have attended, and even now some of the international schools or the private schools, especially the CBSE boards, they usually do not end by 4 o'clock, 4:30 as a general part of the curriculum. They usually end by like 2 o'clock or maybe by 1:30. and the students are free to go back home. So that is, I absolutely agree on the fact that the demographics play a huge role in terms of how the school operates in the administrative structure as well. So Dr. Yogita Sarwal has also pointed out that it has transformed the qualities of leadership. Ma'am, would you like to elaborate on that? So thank you, ma'am, for relating with my example. I think, and that's quite an honor for me. So with that, I'll move forward to the next question. I will be posting it on the chat box as well. So, have you, as educators, cited or come across any examples of favorable and unfavorable social constructs in your academic careers? So, I have posted this question in the chat box as well. So again, I'll give an example from my end. I belong to North India, and so I do not know many languages apart from English and Hindi. And one time I was posted in I had attended a school in a southern state of India, and there one of the languages that was sort of not compulsory, but it was there as a part of the syllabus was the local vernacular language, which I was not fluent in. So definitely my scores over there were hardly any, though other subjects were quite well. So I think if I have to look at it from the question perspective, favorable and unfavorable, favorable would be that I at least got to explore a language that I think I could have picked up upon, I could have developed my fluency over. But at the same time, it definitely did bring down my overall academic score. So it was one aspect which sort of helped me cope in that demographic, in that area on a local level. But at the same time, when you look at my academic grade sheet, I would not have preferred that language be counted as one of our core overall scores. So Dr. Yogita Sarwal also has a favorable observation. She says that sharing ideas among students and then the whole group of students and working towards the same goal. So that is a good way of definitely that's a good way of sort of owning certain constructing certain social concepts rather than just following and then discussing about it. I think that's a great way of sharing and bringing every student together and onto one platform and sort of creating an idea, creating a lifestyle, creating a behavior that can be set as a norm which will benefit everybody. Unfavorable, yes, sometimes the students do not disclose their idea for many reasons. Sometimes it is the students aspect, sometimes it is something that has been happening at home, sometimes it is the fact that there's a certain disconnect that they're feeling in the classroom. So there could be a lot of aspects. And yes, hence the knowledge and the progress of the students also goes unnoticed. Thank you, ma'am. Do we have any other inputs regarding any observations that are made regarding the favorable and the unfavorable social constructs in the education system?
Can I please?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I'd say one of the unfavorable social constructs would be parent interference to a degree which is not really, favorable for the school. On the other hand, the same aspect can be seen as favorable when it becomes partnership with the school, when they are sharing the responsibility of the teachers. So it's almost two sides of the same coin. The unfavorable part when the interference has subtle negative implications, but the same thing again, we can look at it like a positive construct if we sort of get response from the parents, which is partnering with the school for the learning of the students, helping teachers, and ultimately helping the child.
Absolutely, ma'am. I think very nicely you put out that parents are one of the major stakeholders in any child's academic development, I think. And sometimes the way they deal with it and sometimes the input that they give are quite quite good, if I could put it like that. They're quite progressive, they're quite impactful, and they're quite practical as well. However, sometimes when there's just a lot of questioning without any hopes of coming to a solution, it can cause an hindrance to not only the school's operations, more importantly, the child's development, the child's growth path that has already been set, which has been tried and tested, and that is, I think, somewhere where, like ma'am said, the partnership has to come into picture rather than just pointing out errors. I think it's important that all the stakeholders in the education society need to be a part of the solution rather than just people who identify problems. I mean, it's definitely good to identify any loopholes, but it's more important to address those loopholes and move on rather than just crib about certain things and hope for a solution that should magically appear from somewhere else. Narendra Bayana has also suggested that unfavorably, yes, a lot of parents have forced their wills and accords on their child, that okay, they want them to be like this, they know exactly. So even in our organization, when we have counseling sessions, they have noticed that a lot of parents force their child to study a particular, no, read aloud and learn, no, write and learn, no, draw and learn, or make your own notes. It's very important to understand that each and every child has their own learning styles, and that is how one can actually cater to that child development exclusively. Very importantly, Dr. Yogita Sarwal has also pointed out one very important concern that a lot of schools are facing these days is bullying. And sometimes it goes unnoticed because when we think of bullying, it is seen as something that has to be physically imposing. But a lot of times, especially in a diverse country like India, it could be on the basis of your class, it could be on the basis of your appearance, it could be on the basis of your grades, it could be on the basis of something that happened on the playground. And I think that is very important for us to be observant and make other children also very important. I think it is very good when children support and become a group and support each other, but then when they become a group against a particular child, then that is something that could be very, very scarring to both the parties concerned in this point. Yasmin Liaquat Sultana has also pointed out another unfavorable construct where students with low learning capabilities are looked down upon by the group of smart learners. And it is seen that they form teams and there starts all the emotional problems. I am quite agreeing on that, and I'm sure a lot of people on this platform also would be in agreement with that, because I think everybody does have certain skills, certain talents, but it becomes important that a child can make a mistake, but if we laugh about it or if we put them down, then they would not be open to even exploring that idea again. That is not healthy. And with that, I will bring about a very last, I think we have 5 more minutes to go. So we have the last question. What are the key shifts in socially constructed concepts and experiences in the past few and the upcoming years? So have you observed any shift in the social constructs when we talk about it in the context of a school or an academic system in the previous and the upcoming years? So I have come across one construct. I will not say just from the school side. I would say much more from the parental perspective. But I have observed that a lot of parents right now are giving the freedom to at least explore certain, non-conventional career options, which is great. The problem, however, I do realize that sometimes the parents are just letting their child go absolutely free. That do whatever you want, but they do not provide any guidance or any constructive solutions or any direction to that particular path. It is sometimes it could borderline on them actually letting off their responsibilities and hoping that yes, just because I've put my child in such a fantastic school with a great curriculum, with a great faculty, with a great infrastructure, the school should automatically take care of it. While it is good to not pressurize the student on and off, does not mean that a parent stops their involvement with the child's academic or career related well-being. I think that is very important. That is something that I have observed. So yes, it is a double-edged sword. I think we need to work on that. Dr. Yogan Sarwar has also said that students with online system have become prone to online evils. Yes, my God. I mean, if I could just recount the kind of debates and discussions I have participated in and I have listened to during the school and the college years, about technology being a boon and bane, I think I cannot count it on my fingertips. There's like definitely a lot more than that. So I think that training and that instead of just discussing about it, I think now the teachers and the schools are taking that initiative to actually sensitize the students, guide them with the rules and regulations about it, which is quite commendable, because I think it's kudos to you all and all the educators that you are trying to work with a system that you were not taught with. I mean, even I wasn't taught with that. So that's quite commendable for all of you, that you are coming up online, you're trying to understand how technology works, in what ways you can explore it, innovating on it, setting down boundaries where required, and trying to connect with the students in a way that was not something, that was not the way that you were trained initially. So that is quite commendable. Dr. Yogesh Sarwal has also suggested that being their confidant is important. I think as teachers, it's very important that that students find us to be reliable, not only in terms of our knowledge, but also in terms of our emotional experience that we can share with them. Thank you, ma'am. Narendra Bayana has also said that he agrees with Dr. Yogita, ma'am, and quite especially during this pandemic, he says that most of the schools are going for online teaching, and it becomes important that we also keep ourselves educated and updated about how to use technology beneficially and how to allow students the power to choose and operate the technology beneficially to their own benefit as well, of course, the world. It's quite a serious issue, I agree, ma'am. And I think that just gives us enough time to close today's session. I think thank you all for entertaining the Q&A as well so wholeheartedly. It was definitely a great opportunity for me to learn from established educators like all of you. Because I think a lot of time during these sessions that we have always focused on learning from the speaker who has come, but I think today we have actually taken it a notch up and proved yet again, that how cohesively the educator's mind works. I mean, there's so much of parity despite us all having different experiences in terms of the educational scenario that is playing around in India. It's quite a different experience for all of us, not only in terms of geographical location, in terms of the curriculum that we follow, in terms of the resources we have at disposal, in terms of the students we are working with, in terms of our own expertise and in terms of our own belief and training. And I think this is a very key point that we need. I think that highlights another reason how many of you have pointed out that we need master classes like these to actually, to not only have a think tank, but to gain that assurance that, we are not on this journey alone. We are, there's a lot of like-minded, keen, wholeheartedly working educators, maybe in a different corner of India, working on a similar front as us. And all we need sometimes is just to connect. And apart from the ideas that we exchange, apart from the beliefs that we exchange, apart from the case studies and researches that we exchange, I think it's very important to know that, we are not alone in this journey, and we are fighting a very fair fight, and it is moving towards something progressive. It is giving some results. So you know that you are doing something right. Thank you so much, everybody, for being such a lovely and wonderful audience today. I think I definitely enjoyed today's session with all of you as well. And I think the speaker today also quite commendable of him. Like I said, that passion that an educator has, that it was visible with him also, where he has taken the time and effort to actually create a video, subtitle it, and ensure that it gets delivered to all of you. And you all have grasped it, you have absorbed it. I can see it from the feedback that I have received. So thank you, everybody. Tomorrow we'll be meeting at 5 o'clock for the session. Meanwhile, just a short announcement, we actually have started receiving some registrations for the January In Touch session. It is free for all, and I think we have in the past hour itself we have got quite a lot of registrations already. That's the update that I've got from the team. So yes, please go ahead, register. The website is www.futureschoolleaders.in. You can go ahead, make an advanced registration. It's something that comes with a certificate as well. And don't keep it, just to yourself. Circulate it with your loved ones, with your colleagues, with anybody that you think, with a concerned parent, in your locality that you think can benefit from this. For more information, you can of course connect with us, and we'll be happy to help you with any details about the session. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening ahead.